Good morning, everyone on the MYBC Consulting Facebook page. It is Small Business Week across Canada, and I wanted to bring together various businesses across Canada. And when I put out the shout out or the big ask, I had someone from the United States that wanted to be part of it, because we often say what goes on in the United States happens to Canada. Well, we want to invite the United States, which is happening to Canada right now with a small business. So the purpose of this was to bring together a diverse set of business owners that are concerned about our mental health, how we take care of ourselves, how we take care of our finances, how we take care of our legal issues, and how we get organized in this whole world, because small business is the backbone of our communities. It's not the big box stores that are the backbone, it's the mom and pop shops that keep our communities going. So what I would like to do, I did send my my lovely business owners here, small business owners, some questions, but let's go around and introduce yourself. What is your field of expertise and where are you located? So let's start with Dianne.
Good morning, everybody. Well, I'm Dianne Parnell, and I am a solution-based coach. So what that means is that I can help you if you're feeling stuck in your life, in your world, in your business, whatever it happens to be. That's who I am. And
where are you located, Dianne?
I'm located in the beautiful Salmon Arm, British Columbia, which is in the interior of BC.
Excellent. Welcome, and thank you so much for your time today. We'll go down to Robert. So what we're doing right now, Robert, is to introducing yourself. What's your company name and what's your field of expertise and where are you located in this world?
My field of expertise isn't showing up on time.
That's okay. You're out playing. You're playing with us.
Well, thrilled to be here. Thrilled to be here with Dianne and Janice and Marion and Lisa and Jeanette from beautiful downtown Beaumont, Alberta, the city of Beaumont, 10 minutes south of the capital city of Edmonton, Alberta. My name is Robert Manolson, the creator and facilitator of Powerful Play Experiences, Positive Workplace Mental Health for Teens. And I love to play. I'm all about play. I facilitate play-based workshops because play is such a simple and comfortable and safe way to create conversations and get conversations started about mental health, specifically workplace mental health. So I'm all over the idea that we need more positive mental health at work, but we get that message out to people through play-based workshops. And,
perfect.
And that's it.
Yeah, hold on, because we're going to come back to, you missed at the top. This is going to be a very holistic approach to why our mental health as small business owners are so important, how we can bridge that into the center part of our business, which is those play-based experiences, and then how we keep our business going, protected, and organized. So with that being said, let's go to keep our businesses organized. Lisa, welcome from the United States. Please introduce yourself.
Thank you, Jeanette. I'm so happy to be here. I am Lisa DeToffol, and I own a expert virtual assistant business called Tiger Eye Solution, and I'm located in the upstate of South Carolina on the in the Eastern time zone of the U.S.
And what's your field of expertise?
We help keep you organized. All those tedious tasks in the back end of your business, we can help you organize different things such as your emails and your websites and manage all those things for you.
Beautiful. We're going to get into organization, which is so important as a small business owner. So Janice, welcome, Janice.
Thank you, Jeanette. My name is Janice Tomczuk, and I'm the owner of Click Business Solutions. And we try to take the stress out of managing your money. Basically, whether it, I've seen so many people get stressed out from not having their accounting in order or not having enough streams of income. So that's some of the things that we take care of.
And whereabouts are you located?
Oh, I'm sorry. I am located in sunny Kelowna, British Columbia.
wine country, people, wine country.
Mhm.
Where do you serve? What area do you serve?
I mostly serve Western Canada, but with some things I serve in the US or any English speaking country. But but for the main part of my business, it's Western Canada for bookkeeping and accounting services and tax.
Beautiful. Thank you so much for being here. And Miss Marion McCool. I think out of everybody on this screen, I've known Marion the longest. And in person, I've met her.
I hope so. Good morning. So I'm Marion McCool, and I live in Crossfield, Alberta, which is just about 30 minutes north of Calgary. And I like being in a small town. And my business is I'm a director with LegalShield and ID Shield, and we just look after people's challenges, whether it's personal or in their business, what keeps them awake at night. And I love to help that.
Oh, that's awesome. Awesome. And Marion used to live where I live, which is in Langley. So I'm Jeanette, as you all know, because you're on my Facebook page of MYBC Consulting, which stands for the Move Your Bum Chum Consulting. I'm all about the 3 C's: connections, collaborations to build the communities that we want to live in. So with building the connection, we have to be right with ourselves. We have to be very there's no balance in life, but we have to understand that self-care is so important. We can't go be our best selves to our customers, our community, or our connections unless we are good and right with ourselves. So I'd like to take Dianne to take the first question that I have. And what does self-care mean to you in under 2 minutes? No, 3 minutes maybe.
Oh, okay. Well, self-care is top priority on my list. And reason for that is because I didn't do it for myself for a very long time. And I spent most of my life very sick and didn't understand the concept of doing things for myself because I was a mom, I was a wife, I had a job, and those were my roles. And that's what I did. So I put myself on the back burner all the time, and I paid for it mentally and physically. So once I learned the real priority of taking care of yourself, then that's what I started to do. And it took me a long time because I always felt guilty that I was taking time away from my family. I was taking money away from the family, those kinds of things. And it was my mom that said, you need to stop that because you have to take care of yourself.
Oh, wow.
And yeah, so then I started taking care of myself. And so now my favorites are massage. Like I could go for a massage every single day of my life and never have enough. So I book in for a massage once a month. Anything that's holistic, well, not anything, but almost everything that's holistic. And I really encourage my clients to do the same. That's one of the things we talk about a lot is self-care and what you're doing for yourself. Because if we don't do that, you've kind of lost the battle.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's really, really important.
And I love the fact that you said about massage, because in our communities, there's always that person you're going to connect with. And there's that human touch. Yeah. It's yes to relieve yourself, but it's that connection in kindness and in cure that person is facilitating for you.
Absolutely.
So where do you go to get? Oh,
you're going to love this because that's what I did for a living. I did relaxation massage, but I didn't go for massage.
Oh, no physician heal thyself.
I know until the last few years. And it was because of massage that got me into coaching that was the whole thing. So where do I go for massage?
Yes.
Oh, we have some amazing facilitator or practitioners here in our town, but where I go monthly is to Gypsy Moon Collective. They just opened here. It used to be Gypsy Moon Massage, and now they've opened a collective where there's I don't recall the number, but there's 10 or 12 practitioners in there, and they're all amazing. So that's where I go.
Okay. If you can, everybody, when I'm going to ask you kind of your favorites as we go along with within your community, afterwards, you'll see that this isn't on StreamYard, those people that are watching, and because I want to stay in conversation to these incredible business owners, and I call friends, that if you have any questions for any one of these lovely, incredible human beings, put it into the comments. They will come back to them after we're done and answer the questions as well. And then if any of the people on here, I'm going to ask you that if you mention a certain company, if you can find their Facebook page after the video is done, put it into the comment box. Or if they don't have a Facebook page, put their website or how someone can connect with them and find out, because that's part of the power. So let's go down to Robert. So Robert, now from a man's point of view, self-care. And it's a topic that I think we need to explore that led you to do what you do in life. So what does self-care mean for a man in business, a small business owner that's a man?
Well, first, I want to acknowledge Dianne for being so self-aware of her physical and mental health challenges that she not only recognized that something had to be changed, but she did something about it. And it would be neat to come back to Dianne about that, whether it was a singular moment over a period of time when that awareness came to you. And maybe it was about the crisis of your health, physically or mentally, that had you stop in your tracks and pause and begin to rethink your own mental health and begin the action of turning the corner and doing something about it. And I as I say that out loud, I challenge all men to do the same. I challenge all men to do the same and to do what Dianne did, which was the pause. So Dianne didn't continue down the path of unhealthiness and wear the mask and not only lie to herself, but lie to others and continue on. But she inserted the pause and asked herself those hard questions and began to make a change. We traditionally know men as being a lot different than Dianne. We traditionally don't insert the pause, but we continue on, wearing the mask, lying to ourselves and others, because that's just the way it's supposed to be, right? And men are just supposed to get her done, get that work done. Fortunately, I'm not genetically wired that way. I'm more inclined to follow the path that Dianne took. So I'm very honored to have those tough conversations with men about the pause, about the reflection, about stopping the train that is out of control and asking them, so how does that feel? And is that working for you? Is that working for you? And I think just the act of one man speaking to another man with hard questions is the starting the conversation, starting it is the first step towards change. But men aren't about that pause, aren't about the pause. We'll just plow through it.
I love that, Robert. Absolutely. Well, I haven't heard that word, the pause, before. So that's fascinating. We're going to loop back. So now that we understand that we have to take that pause for self-care, and we have to ask each other and be there for each other and create those moments for each other to kind of, when we pause and in safety with our relationships, to be able to find the people out there to continue to our own self-healing, because we don't do this by ourselves. Yeah, we don't do this absolutely by ourselves. So now we get to the middle part of our business. We're small business owners. We understand we got to take care of ourselves. And part of it is taking care of the day-to-day tasks. And that's where Lisa and Janice come in. And I'd love to know, Lisa, why you got into doing the business. Like, where did this come from? Like, we know with Dianne and Robert from like their personal journey created this opportunity for them to go out and help community. So what was the catalyst for you to begin Tiger Eye Solutions to be able to help us creative, crazy beings keep ourselves organized?
Actually, Jeanette, I am a former preschool teacher prior to starting my virtual assistant business. And in that realm, when I was in the classroom, I enjoyed helping those little ones, you know, help
Mm.
craft their minds and in the direction they needed to go. And hence I have brought that into my personal business now as well, in helping my clients create the direction they need to go and help them get there, help them create the systems they need if that's what they need. Or possibly, you know, email is really big in the business world now, and it can get overwhelming. You know, all our inboxes stay really, really full. Some of it's the good stuff and some of it's the not so good stuff. And so you need to do something with all of it, whether it's the good stuff or the bad stuff. And we can help you manage that. We can help you organize that if that's what you need. And also, you know, all business owners have websites as well. And they also need to be managed. You know, yeah, you may create that website, but you just don't want it to sit there. You want to lead your audience to your website.
Right.
You want to
Correct.
keep that website updated so that it doesn't close down altogether, you know, after a period of time. So we can go on the back end of your website, help keep it updated, and help lead those your audience to your website. All the tedious things that may keep you busy, maybe some busy work, but it's not really what you love to do.
Ooh, there's the different word, the busy work and the business.
Yes.
And I don't know about, well, I do know about all of you people that are on this incredible story. I'd rather be in my business and working my business than having that busy work done. Yes. So
Hand
Lisa,
over the busy work to us,
yes.
and you do what you love to do within your business.
So you must have somebody in your community that you rely on to do something to make your life easier, like your favorite butcher or your favorite store, or maybe on Friday. Oh, it's Friday getting pizza. Who do you reach out to kind of take, say, dinner off your plate so that you can keep helping businesses? What's your favorite place?
Absolutely. We do love pizza in my house, and Marco's Pizza is our favorite. And we get delivery a lot. Instead of having to go out and actually go get it, we let them deliver it to us, especially during the pandemic we just had recently. Yeah, we had a lot of Marco's Pizza.
Awesome. I love that. We'll make sure that we get Marco into the comment box, because I know there's lots of people around where you live. So now that takes us to, the dreaded piggy bank, the dollars and cents of our business. And it's one area that, when I came on before, I'm like, oh, it's so good to come into the office and somebody has paid their bill. But I tend to do my deposits and let things slide. I have to tell you, not because it's not my jam. So Janice, what was your her story of developing your company and how you're helping your customers or a customer with their finances?
Well, I started actually working 40 years ago doing accounting, and it was something as a kid that I really liked to do. So it took me a while to start my own company, but I decided that with COVID and just it was time to start my own business, right? And I've worked for lots of companies. I've seen a lot of different things happen, and you're not alone, Jeanette. A lot of people, they like the money coming in, but they don't want to deal with the rest of it. And I've gotten shoe boxes for years and years on end, and you have to sort through it and organize it, and get that stress off of the business owner, because they need a business loan, or they're up against the wall with taxes or all kinds of things because they haven't kept it organized, right? So it really plays on a business's health, right? And it's all about the personality and the corporation that it develops all on its own, right? Not having enough streams of income can be a big hurdle as well. So you want to do this and you want to do that, and you want to hire Lisa and her company to take care of the busyness, but you don't have that stream of income to pay for it. Well, that's another area where I can step in and help as well. So
I'm going to ask you two questions here. First question is, what is the biggest myth that small business people think they can write it off? And then, of course, where do you go to get your stress taken off of you that you delegate out to, what's your favorite community place that you like to go? So yeah, the myth first.
The myth is people think they can write off their dog stuff mostly, or their personal grooming, or their massages, or stuff like that, like personal stuff. Yeah, I've had people want to write off their dog food. So, and I know that just, they say, well, it's a watchdog. Well, no, it won't be allowed. Revenue Canada won't allow that, right? Like, it depends on the business, right? Do you have a yard, or do you, are certain things in place that you need to have a watchdog, right? But that, there's lots of different things. Another one is that people think that they can hire somebody and as a subcontractor, and that gets them into a lot of water, where they can't hire them as a subcontractor. There's rules and regulations around that, and Marion would probably know that as well. My I guess where I like to go to relax is just take my dogs on a walk. There's a lovely beach not far from here, and we walk around the lake and enjoy some time out in Mother Nature. And I love the lake. I love the water. So
I do know, because we are friends and connected off of the Zoom, is you have pets. So where's your favorite place to go make sure your dogs are fed well? Your favorite pet store?
Actually, I rely on my vet to provide. Yeah, they have good pet food there. So that's usually what I do, is I buy my pet food from my vet, because sometimes dogs are on special diets like mine, especially when one is about to have puppies. You have to run out and get the right dog food for her. So
shout out to your vet. What's your vet's name?
West Kelowna Veterinary Hospital, and Dr. Dubé is absolutely amazing. So
beautiful. Thank you so much. So Marion, so we've protected our mental health. We're going outside to play. We're getting our stuff organized in between. We're making sure we got some cash flow, and we got somebody recognizing where our money and our dollars and our new common sense is coming from. So introduce what you do and how you help community and help business owners, and your backstory.
Well, starting with the backstory first, I actually had my own business, and it was a brick and mortar business, and of course hired employees and stuff like that. So I know exactly what Janice is talking about. And we had a bit of a challenge with our landlord, and it eventually, not even going to court about it, but just the legal fees was phenomenally costly. And so I think it was about 5 years later, I ran into LegalShield, and somebody introduced me to them. And my first thing was, where were you when I needed you? And, it was just, and so I joined LegalShield just as just something to have on the back burner. And so I started off by helping my own clients, my own business clients, because some of them were asking me questions, and I was like, yeah, I know I can give you an answer because that's part of my field of expertise, but you really need an expert, or you really need to. One of them was just a fellow who wanted to lease a warehouse. And I said to him, please, having been through what I was through, do not do that without having the lease reviewed. And, so he took the membership and contacted the law firm and went from there. So there's just so many other things I've used it for personally, and I know how it can help just people and their families, and also small businesses. And it's about keeping your dollars in your bank account and in your company and within your family, rather than spending it on things that just are so expensive. And LegalShield does that. You're going to sign something. If you want to sign a contract, an employment contract or a rental agreement, or you're a small business and you have a customer who wants you to do work for them for oh, let's say the next year, and I want you, like Lisa, for instance, where she contracts with people to do their work for, say, a year, 6 months or a year, and that contract should be reviewed. And, you know, because we need to protect ourselves. And a lot of contracts that we're given, we're not protected. So it's one of those things where I just feel that people get themselves into little pickles. I don't want to say it's big trouble. It's just a pickle. And how do you deal with it? But those little pickles can cost us money.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Wow, great. And also those that are watching, all of these lovely people will put their contact information into the chat after we're done as well on my Facebook page. Now the question I'd like to go around and ask each one of you is, in a minute to two, describe your ideal client. Who from your community would you like to work with? So Dianne, who is your ideal client?
Okay. My ideal clients are usually between the ages of 35 and 60-ish, possibly working moms who are trying to define their role. It could be that their kids are getting ready to leave home. And that's what happened with me, was my youngest son left home. So my role changed as a mom, as a wife. I didn't work. I stayed home and raised my kids until they all left home. And then I went back to work. But it was such a struggle for me that I didn't know who I was. I stood in the middle of my living room and I went like, where do I fit now? My kids are gone. They don't need me anymore. Am I going to become a couch potato and sit and watch soap operas all day long? No, because I never did that. But so it was a real struggle for me to figure out who I was. Where did my dreams go? And so that's my ideal client, is the ones who are struggling with that identity.
Okay,
Yeah.
awesome. So Robert, in 1 to 2 minutes, who are your ideal clients?
Well, first I want to thank everybody who's here, who might not be aware of the fact that you're all champions for mental health, because all the clients, all the people, all the families that you serve are not immune, are absolutely not immune to the many challenges that are taking place during COVID. No one is immune. So the work that you do, which is emphasized by the action of help, is all about helping people through their mental health. So you're making people's lives lighter, less stressful, less tension, right? More organized, more secure, more planned, right? So, you know, if you can approach the work that you do with clients from a mental health perspective, you just might find yourself having more work to do, because there's so much on our plate.
Exactly.
Yeah, and just to start the conversation about mental health, people might come forward and share with you some of their own personal challenges in their relationship with work around their mental health that might require a different kind of service or more of your services. So ideally, powerful play experiences, ideally, I've learned over the years that the bestest person to pick up the phone to call me or send me an email because of their interest is a woman. It's a woman. It's not men. It's coming back to men, right? Men want to plow through all their issues. Women pause and they say, listen, this play thing, I think we need to pause the team and take a time out and catch our breath and reorganize. So that's why I'm calling you, because I'd like to do something that's fun and energizing, where you weave in conversations around mental health. So 99.9% of the folks who call me or email me are women, because they believe in the pause. Rarely do I get a call from a man who's going to say, yes, I think we need to pause. We need to chill for a while. Our team needs to figure out, you know, its own mental health and feel better about themselves. But when I do get that inquiry from a man, I fall off my chair. But it's pretty amazing. So thank you, women, for being out there and doing the pause.
Awesome. Thank you. Thank you, Robert. We'll go down. Marion, you're right below me on my screen. I don't know where you are on your side. So who is your ideal client that you like to work with?
I have two sort of groups that I like to reach out to. First of all, small businesses, anywhere up to about 50 employees, because they're the ones that are really just trying to deal with things themselves and actually need Lisa's help sometimes, but just they're trying to deal with things themselves, and they're a little overwhelmed with just the things that are going on sometimes. And isn't it a great idea just to be able to pick up the phone and say, I've got a question. I need an answer to a question, because I can see this thing happening. So it's always being proactive. I can see this thing that could just go away and could blow up. So what do I do? And the other group is women about 30 to 40, where they have, a fairly young family, and understand the need to protect their family. And it's time to get your will done. It's time to get your estate planning done, because that is so important. It's like, people say, oh, I don't need a will. Yes, you do, because if you don't have one, the state or province that you live in has one for you, and you may not like it.
Right. So super duper important. And if there was ever a time in history to have your will, estate planning, and power of attorneys in place, it's now. It's definitely now. So I'm so excited to have you here, Marion. You're going to solve a lot of people's that for them, and relatively inexpensively too, which that's always been the big key piece. Is people said it's so much money, but there's ways around in order to get to be able to protect ourselves and our families. So Lisa, who is your client that you would like to attract to you and you like to work with?
We enjoy working with solo professionals.
Okay.
They all have the tedious task and all the busy work, to keep up with, and it can get overwhelming, really can. And they may or may not be aware that they can outsource some of that busy work to where they can stay focused and keep their mindset within the area of their expertise. Because when you hire a virtual assistant, you're not paying them for a full 40-hour week. Like if you actually hired an employee, or the taxes, or the insurance, or all that stuff, all the things that come along with hiring an employee. You hire a virtual assistant, you're going to pay them for the specific hours they spend working on your task, whatever it is you have requested them. If it's email management and you want us to do it for 5 hours, you're only going to pay for those 5 hours that we are actually working on your emails. So we're very efficient. And like I said, you don't pay the extra stuff. You don't pay for our computers or our health insurance or our office space. We have all that ourselves already. So yeah, we can save you a whole lot of money and a whole lot of time.
If there's say 2 professions that really benefit from having a virtual assistant.
With my business, we have found speakers and coaches.
Okay.
That we work with, that most of our clients come to us are speakers and coaches.
Okay, awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Lisa. So Janice, who is your ideal client or clients that you like to
just politely interrupt before? Really politely interrupt, but I want to say, way to go, Lisa, because I'm one of those, not so much a speaker, but a workshop facilitator that has a virtual assistant in my life and my business for 3 years now. So I'll put in a plug for the occupation of virtual assistant and the powerful role that you can play in the life of someone's business, because I'm living that with an individual, with a great gal by the name of Amy, and she's been helping for 3 years. You're on, Janice.
Thank you for that, Robert.
Okay.
So Janice, who is your ideal clients?
There's 2 types. First off, because I like a challenge, I prefer to have those clients that are behind in their books, and they need some help with that to get organized and get things back on track. So it doesn't really matter what industry, because I've worked with a whole variety of them, but pretty much anybody that's behind is a good client for me. Also, a client that's looking for a different stream of income or wants cash flow management in some way, shape, or form, that's also a good client for me.
So when you say a stream of income, what does that mean?
Your business is one stream of income, or each service that you provide can be broken down into a stream of income.
Okay.
Some businesses, they don't always have that extra ability to provide extra services or extra things, right? So they're looking for another stream of income. Like someone like Dianne, she's got her coaching, but she'd like something else to help her with her cash flow management, or bring in that extra income to cover things, and to help her with her retirement type of deal, right? So retirement is, really important, and people are right now farther away from being able to retire at the age of 65 than ever before, and COVID has made it even worse. So helping other people find passive streams of income is one of my favorite things to do. So
excellent, thank you. And I'll just kind of introduce myself. I call myself a business relationship strategist, so you can kind of see how I'm bringing businesses together and building these incredible relationships with unique ways, and a social media whisperer. So my customer is someone who does amazing things in their greatness. And how do you bring it onto the social media platforms, and to be able to pull the people off of social media into your place of business? Because Kira Schaefer, that's my shout out. She has a publishing company. And for the life of me, I can't remember her publishing company now, but Kira Schaefer, you will hear this. She had a bold statement, guys, about 3 months ago. And her bold statement was, I'm getting off of social media for 90 days. Here's still my email, that I'm going to be still able to get off of email. Well, you had two different reactions to that. The number one reaction would have been, oh, social media is too good for her. It's bad. It's awful. Oh my gosh. Oh, she's so like, oh, now she's getting off of social media because it's so horrible. Or you could have had this response that I had. I was doing the happy dance in my chair for her. I'm like, woo, woo. You got people and you're pulling them off into your reality, and you're working with them in your reality. You go, girl. You get off of that social media and you take care of the people that are in front of you. So that's what I help people do, is getting your story out. I call it through the W5 story process of who you are, what you do, where you do it, when you do it, why you do it, and keep getting it out. And when you put out your truth, the truth will be attracted to you. And it's all about the behavior of the business owner behind the glass. And these are our new legs in life. These are our new legs in life. You won't get a whole body before somebody doesn't use their new legs in life. So that's my customers. So if you've got your greatness, I'd love to help you with your social media and then pull people off. So in this last little kind of top of the hour here, getting to the top of the hour, is as a small business owner, Dianne, this is a question for all of us. As a small business owner, where do you see your business going in the next, I'm only going to go 3 months at a time, because we all know last year I had my whole year planned, and stuff changed, and I learned the word adapt really well. So in the next 3 to stretch of 6 months, where do you see your small business going?
Oh, the next 3 to 6 months. Well, right now I'm working on some workshops that I hope to get up and running for people. And one of the biggest ones is discovering your why, because I think that's really important. If you don't know why you're doing what you're doing, it can be a real struggle to find the people that you want to work with. And especially, like I said, with my ideal clients being moms that don't know who they are anymore, it's super important for them to know that why. What do you want to do now? And why do you want to do what you want to do? And how are we going to get you there in the best the best way possible. So that's where I want to see myself in 3 to 6 months, is a lot more workshops virtually and hopefully in person as well. Yeah.
Perfect. And I hope in that next 3 to 6 months, we get to meet each other.
Yes.
Because we're only about 4
That's
hours
the
away
plan.
from this. That's the plan as well.
All right.
So Robert, where do you see your business in the next 3 to maximum 6 months? Because we know crazy stuff happens.
Well, when I think of the next 3, not 6, but the next 3 months, I have to talk about the fact that this past summer, towards the end of July and definitely all through August, personally, I fell into what I'm calling another mental health funk. And in large part because I live with and manage depression and anxiety. So I am prone to depressive episodes or episodes of anxiety. And I entered into another one towards the end of July and throughout August. So why I'm saying this in large part, and I'm saying it to men, is because sometimes you don't have a choice when it comes to the pause. And my depression or my funk, which stems from depression, was my pause. Now, mentally, I didn't have a choice, but physically, my body was pulling away, and told me that I needed to slow down, pause, and shift my energy. So I just share that with men. Your body might be experiencing something and it's telling you about the pause that you need to address and take a look at. Coming out of multiple episodes of depression over the past 20 years, I've learned that what comes next is always a period of excitement, but it's also a period of many unknowns, because I'm reorganizing, I'm replanning, I'm rethinking. So where am I going in the next 3 months? I'm not 100% sure, because I'm just coming out of that funk. And now my head is much more clear, but I need to rethink and refocus. And that's the beauty of the pause. Again, Dianne knows that, right? Because the pause is almost like a gift, because it refreshes you, remotivates you, allows you to rethink as you move forward. And maybe Dianne moved forward in places that she would have never thought of before the pause. And that was the beauty of the pause. So I, like Dianne, I haven't quite figured that out yet, but I know it's exciting. And I want to thank Jeanette, because she's one of the people in my tribe that that is helping me figure that out, because I don't want to do this alone. I don't want to do this.
It's more fun to play with other people.
Pardon me?
It's more fun to play with other people.
Exactly. And I need to speak to Janice, because she said a few things this morning, and who knows, I just might add her to my tribe as well.
There you go. They're awesome. Thank you. So Marion, where do you see your business or the legal business going in 3 months? Because that's something that's upside down and changing all the time as well.
I see what we're doing growing, and because there's a lot of things that people don't understand, and unfortunately our governments keep changing the rules. You know, when I was in BC back 2000, I think 15, 16, the BC government changed the Family Act, and they also changed the Wills and Estates Act. So my thing is if you got a will that's older than that, it could be all wrong.
Oh, wow.
And so there's those sorts of things. And small businesses, let's face it, small businesses go under all the time because of some little challenge that they've run into that suddenly blows up on them. And particularly with the federal government changing the CRA rules, which I'm sure Janice knows about, is that some of the small businesses are going to run into trouble, especially during COVID, because they're struggling with finances as it is. And then now our federal government's got their hand out because they need to recoup that $600 billion that they've spent over the last couple of years. So, you know, it's, I see it growing. And of course, being in Alberta and being in a new place, I'm just gradually starting to get to know the people. And that's what I'm doing for the next 3 months, is just reaching out to the chamber members and also seeing if I can become a bit of a help on the chamber situation too. So it's just all that getting to know people.
Absolutely. I was negligent in asking you, what is your favorite community business that you like to give a shout out to today?
Well, because we're an extremely small town, I would have to say the nice thing about it is that they welcome a lot of the new businesses that are moving in, because of course they're gradually adding more residential development here. And I've heard everybody raving about it. I haven't been in there yet just because, well, I'm still trying to watch that girlish figure, but apparently the donut man is here, and they make homemade donuts right there. They're kind of cake-like donuts, and everybody raves about them. So it's I'm thinking that I need to stop in there one day, but I have to sort of do it on the guise of maybe sharing a few.
I'm going to get my oil changed.
Well, actually, the oil, it's funny because the mechanic is just kind of half a block down the street in a little cubby hole. And, you know, it's a really interesting little town. So yeah, I'm going to have to go in there, but I'll do it on the guise of maybe picking up some donuts for my grandson, and I'll taste one.
There you go. I love that. Thank you, Marion. Lisa, in the next 3 months, where do you see your business growing to?
Well, my business is already growing. We have gained a few clients recently, and I am still adding to my team. I have a team that works with me within my virtual assistant business. I've added a couple more team members, and we have started a new project that we're going to be working on and hopefully launching the first of next year.
Excellent. And Janice, I want to, first of all, because Marion brought up a really good point, because dollars and cents involve not just us, but of course our government, our local, provincial, and Canada and federal, all gets a little chunk of our change, is how do you keep yourself updated on all of this and on working with your customers and keep you sane?
Oh, well, you know, if something new comes up, you're always researching it on the CRA website, or you're giving them a call. I mean, you have to, because you can't keep up with every single thing that comes out, right? It's, you do it on bit by bit pieces, right? So if there's something I don't know, I pick up the phone or I look on the website. It just depends, right? So I'm always learning something, at least twice a year from the government. There's not as many, but I see a lot more changes coming with all the grants that have gone out. There's going to be more auditing that's going to be done for those people who have received grants, and the CRA is going to be definitely a lot busier. And that's going to make everybody in the accounting profession a lot busier as well. So that's going to come hard and fast. And also, I know that I'm going to be busier with this other company that's opening up their doors in Canada and the US soon, and probably in the new year. And that's going to be another big area where I'm going to be pushing to helping other people that are struggling with income. Oh, sorry about that. So yeah, it's going to get 2022 is going to be really busy.
Perfect. So let's wrap this up with 30 seconds. So what is your advice for someone who wants to become a small business owner? Dianne, take it away.
If it's what you want to do and you know why you're doing it, go for it. Because I think with the way times are now, I think now's the time, and maybe more virtually, but I think any time is a good time to start your own business, as long as you know your why and why you're doing it and who you want to help. So
Okay,
go for
Robert.
it.
Your advice to the small business person.
Well, as a certified career counselor for 20 years, I would say two things. Follow your heart and do the work you love, but do the research. Do the research and do your homework, and speak to just a full variety of solo professionals, business owners, and have them share their stories so that you can be compiling your story, your why, and some of the ways to get organized, that Lisa provides, some of the money matters that Marion and Janice are talking about. So do your research, do your homework, and be informed. Be informed.
Okay. So Marion, what's your advice to the small business owner?
I have to agree with Robert. You've got to do your research. If you don't know what you're getting into and it sounds like a good thing, it may not necessarily be so. And also, what gives you joy? What are you passionate about? Can it fire you up? Can it can where you want to go? Because a lot of people are getting tired of working for other people, and they want to work for themselves. They want to have their own hours, spend more time with their family. And COVID has certainly given us that. You know, there's a lot of people that I'm at home now, and you know, I'm really liking it. So what makes you passionate? Where can you help others that will feed your soul?
Love that. Thank you. Janice.
I agree with Robert as well. You know, do your research, talk to people. The biggest thing that sinks companies early on is not having their finances in order when they go into doing it and knowing what they're supposed to do that, right? So do your research and enjoy what you're doing. Don't make it a chore, because you'll just give up ever so faster on it. And that's really sad. So I don't want that to happen to anybody, because being in business can be one of the best things that you do. So
Awesome. Thank you. And Lisa.
I agree with the research as well, but make sure you have a support team that supports you, and don't go down too many rabbit holes as you're trying to get it started, because there are so many rabbit holes you can fall into in the beginning stages. And save yourself as much time as possible to do what it is you initially love and want to do, what your passion may be.
Excellent. Thank you.
Can I add one thing to what everybody said?
Yes.
I love what everybody said in that passion in doing your research. And one of the biggest pitfalls I think that a lot of small businesses don't do is they don't have a business plan, and they don't know who their customer is, their target market. So make sure that those two things are added to what everybody else said.
And I'm going to leave this by looping it back to how I started with the 3 C's of me, is have your connections. Understand that it takes a collective of people to make your dreams come true. Have those collaboration opportunities and create them for others to shine in their greatness. And we will build that community of small businesses who care about mental health, who care about keeping you organized, who care about you connecting, who genuinely care about you and your successes and what you want to do to change this world. So thank you to all my beautiful people on screen. Thank you to you out there that tuned in to watch this celebration of small businesses across Canada. We are the backbone of all the communities around the world. Go out and support your local business this weekend. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, Jeanette.
Thank you, everyone.